All right, joining me now is a gentleman who has the biggest fight of his career. This will be on Friday night when he takes on Gegard Mousasi for the Bellator middleweight title. It is the one and only Johnny Eblen. Johnny, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I am good, man. Thank you for making some time for us. Boy, I got to tell you, you have really made a name for yourself to get this one. You know, it's kind of interesting, right? Like there's a lot of these fights on the card. There are going to be a couple of the bantamweight Grand Prix, and there's nothing wrong with a tournament, but it is a way to like accelerate yourself. You did it the old fashioned way, sort of slowly climbing the ranks. What has the contendership process been like now that you have arrived at the title fight?
What do you mean by that question?
Like the growth process, like how was it? Did everything happen on schedule for you? Was it essentially what you had expected?
Yeah, pretty much. I expected them to make me have another fight possibly, but all my coaches and kind of in the back of my head, I was thinking after I beat Salter, I'll probably get a title shot. It's the next logical step after this. So it's part of the reason why I called out Salter, because I knew it was gonna, put me in the talk of title contention. So yeah, I mean, this is all kind of going to plan. I believe I'm ready for this title fight. I believe that I'm going to be the world champion of Bellator, the middleweight world champion. So yeah, everything's kind of going to plan.
If you hadn't fought Mousasi next, who would you have fought? Because the reason why I thought after you beat Salter, like this was a no-brainer, was because there just wasn't anybody left, right?
I think Tokov was like in the picture. Maybe another top 10 guy, but I don't know, maybe after the call out and after how I beat Salter, it was like very one-sided. They're like, well, yeah, this is the next best title fight for us. And then right. I'm sure Gegard was like, he's looking to fight 3 times this year, and he probably thinks I'm an easy fight, but I'm not going to be an easy fight. I'm gonna fucking put it on him. But yeah, I think I put the bait out there and he took it. So I'm here to take that belt from him now.
It's an interesting thing you said there. In your mind, why would you think that he thinks that you're an easy fight?
I guess it's because my inexperience and I haven't quite showcased all my skills in fights, and I haven't showcased my skills against guys that are very high level. But the thing is I train at one of the best gyms in the world, and I train with high level guys every single day, and I get rounds. Like I like to spar, so I know what I'm capable of. He just has no clue. He hasn't seen me.
It's interesting. Like Mousasi is a how do you size him up as a challenge, right? Because he's been around for a really long time. Yeah. There's a ton of tape on him, but yeah. I think if you looked at old tape, it actually might be somewhat misleading. When you size him up as an opponent, what is it you feel like you're looking at? What is the major task at hand?
Like the major task in the fight, like what I'm looking to do to him, or
like I guess what I mean is when you're thinking about what has to happen for you to get your hand raised, what are those conditions?
Oh, okay. Well, I gotta fight the fight at my pace. I have to impose my wrestling a little bit. I got to mix it up with my striking, because I'm good at striking when I mix my wrestling up. That's the thing. It's not kickboxing. It's MMA. So the more I can blend my wrestling techniques with my striking, I think it's gonna cause some problems, and I have a fucking great gas tank. I haven't been in like wars really. So I'm looking forward to, if it goes there, I'm ready to go for it, bro. Like I'm hyped for it. Like I'm thirsty for it. And I want to put on a great performance and have fun in there. And I think that's what I got to do. I just got to impose my game plan, mix my wrestling, my striking, my grappling all together, and utilize my gas tank and my willingness to fucking like be a dog. So, and just go out there and put it on him.
Do you feel like Mousasi, as talented and well-rounded, certainly experienced as he is, do you still, this is something I've kind of had in the back of my mind. I don't know that the evidence is all that clear, but do you believe that he has still a susceptibility to, let's say, like really come forward wrestler types? Do you believe that is among your other skills? Do you believe that particular sort of, I mean, it's not just your skills, it's your actual upbringing. You've been wrestling for a long time. Do you believe like that particular kind of athlete gives him trouble?
Not necessarily. I mean, he beat Salter, he beat Austin, but I'm not Salter or Austin. I'm more versatile than them. I'm not necessarily like a wrestler. Like it's my base. It's what I did for a very long time. But I wasn't even. It wasn't even like I didn't really love wrestling as much as I love MMA. Um, I I don't know. Just the aspect of fighting. There's a lot more aspects to it, and I can utilize a lot more of my skill sets to impose my will on somebody, if that makes any sense.
No,
Like
it
there's
does.
too many rules in wrestling to like I don't know how to explain it. Like fighting is I feel like I'm more built for fighting than wrestling. But yeah, I guess that's a tough question because I mean, you say that, but he's fought two wrestlers that like to come forward. Well, Salter doesn't like to come forward and he's beat him. But I'm not Austin. I'm not Salter, even though I might have the same upbringing, I'm a different animal.
When did you realize you loved MMA? And in particular, when did you realize, like, wow, I might be more suited for this than I ever was for wrestling? Like, when did that process take place?
So when I first started fighting back in like 2016, I started training, I think. I ended up quitting my job, took a few amateur fights. Mike Brown let me stay at his house after I quit my job. But I was rolling around with some Abu Dhabi champions like at ATT because I met Steve Mako through wrestling down in Florida, and he got me in the room. And I'm like grappling with these guys, never grappled in my life, like never done BJJ in my life, just wrestling background. And I'm fucking giving them hard rounds. And I'm like not getting submitted. I'm like, maybe I'll be pretty good at this. And then like now I'm sparring, and then I start getting into sparring. I get hit in the face, and I don't care. Like I'm getting hit in the face. I want to hit them in the face more. And I'm like, bro, I think I'm built for this. Like I need. Sorry, this fucking
All good.
potential scam. um, I don't know. Something about it, like it just makes me feel good. Like going in there and fucking getting locked in the cage, and then putting on performance for people and just being violent. Like I fucking love it. And yeah, just all aspects of it. I love the training. I love the fights. Um, I love the shit that comes with it, the money, I'm not too big on the popularity, but whatever. You know what I mean? It's just part of it.
In terms of the opponent here in Musasi, you said something interesting that you wanted to show more of your skills. I feel like this is probably going to be a good opportunity, right? Like it's possible. It's always possible you could beat him with one of your skill sets, but it stands to reason that a guy this good, this experienced, he probably will take the majority of the skills you've worked on. That on some level, that's an opportunity, right?
Absolutely. It's on a high level guy too. It's going to solidify, oh shit, Johnny's good. Like, oh, like fuck, I didn't think Johnny was this good. Like he's fighting one of the best guys in the world, and he's imposing his game plan. He's mixing it up, using his wrestling, striking, grappling. Like damn, like it's funny because it's like I'm good, obviously, because I'm fighting for a title. I'm undefeated, whatever. But like people won't give you the credit that you deserve until you do it to somebody that like they know that is good. And Gegard's that guy. And I think that's why I'm happy to take this next step, take a title from him, and just beat the shit out of him, you know. And
fair enough.
Showcase my fucking skills on a guy like Gegard.
Now you mentioned Steve Mako. I'm going to imagine he's in your corner. I think Mo Lawal is in your corner as well.
Yeah,
is that right?
No, Steve's not in my corner. Steve's not in my
He's
corner.
not.
No.
Okay.
It's
but Steve was the
yeah, Steve. Well, Steve is the like my outlet. He's the one that got me in the gym originally.
Got
like
it.
when I first moved to Florida, I moved for a job after wrestling at Missouri. I worked at Atlantic Southern Paving, was coaching wrestling like as an assistant coach at American Heritage Del Rey, and then I met Steve Mako through the wrestling community down there, and we ended up wrestling one day, and we got after it. And then he ended up inviting me to ATT. I went to ATT, met King Mo. I met Mike Brown and like the whole coaching staff and a bunch of the fighters. And then, yeah, I started training, and I ended up quitting my job, and then lived with Mike Brown to get started. And then after that, I moved into the fighter house, and then now I'm here. So, but yeah, I'll have King Mo, Mike Brown, Thiago Alves, Pitbull, and Dustin in my corner.
Bro, that's an all-star corner, man. That's like the
Yeah.
A team rolling up down there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what does each of them bring? Because I mean, my God, there's like international experience, there's high-level wrestling experience, there's high-level championship experience, there's championship winning experience. Like that is an insane corner. I mean, obviously it must give you a lot of confidence, but I'm wondering like what else do you take from that, knowing that they're there, who they have guided you, they're going to be there giving you support between rounds. Is it just the comfort level? What else is it?
It's just because I've been working with them and I'm comfortable with them. And like they'll watch my rounds sparring. They give me good cues here and there. Obviously they've been in the business for years. They know what it's like to be a fighter, every single one of them. And they've been one of the best, you know what I mean? If not the best right now, like Dustin's still competing, and Tiago's still competing too, to a degree, but he's kind of like coaching and fighting a little bit at the same time. But I don't know. Yeah, I guess it gives me confidence. Not really. I more get confidence in my skill set and what I can do. But it's just nice to have people that have been in my position to give me advice when I need it, or they might be seeing something I don't see, you know. And if someone's not seeing something, somebody else I have in my corner is going to see something and give me tips. And that's why I bring these guys in, and that's why I keep them around. They're honest with me, and yeah, man, I just like having them around. They're good people.
Fair enough. Now, Mousasi is an interesting opponent because I mean, obviously he's got the title, but he's not much of a trash talker. Yet he sort of occupies a kind of revered space, right? Like, would you rather?
He kind of talks trash a little bit, like not really, but like he's like dismissive.
He is dismissive. That's true.
Yeah.
Well, guess what I'm saying is
it's kind of disrespectful. He's
that's fair enough.
In a way, but like in a nice guy way, like oh. Like
I know, but what I'm trying to get at is
talk shit on you and then like act like I didn't talk shit on you. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? But I guess what I'm saying is he doesn't like, I've talked to fighters who have like even championship level fighters DM them and like, oh, you're fucking trash or something like that. Like they put a microphone in his face. He doesn't do the Colby Covington thing. You know, he's a little bit more subdued in that way.
Yeah.
I guess what I'm asking is, as a guy who has to fight him, would you rather him be exactly who he is, or would you rather it be something like, how do you perceive how he acts towards you?
I don't really care too much. I just noticed he's like dismissive. I think he's under, I guess the word undermining me, or
yes, yeah, probably
overlooking me possibly. Maybe he's not. Maybe it's kind of just like him trying to like, you know, that's his way of talking shit. You know, acting like he doesn't know who I mean, I'm sure he didn't know really who I was until, you know, I beat Salter, and then he has to fight me. You know, and then he's probably like, oh, okay, well now I know who this fucking kid is. But I mean, when I'm in his face, punching him in his face, taking him down, and he's like, what the fuck? This kid's a little bit better than I thought. Then he's gonna know who the fuck I am. You know what I mean? He's gonna feel the presence of Johnny Eblen. And that's what I want to do Friday night.
Have you given any thought to the idea that this happens not every time, but I'm noticing it slightly more and more, which is if you beat someone who is that the establishment considers, you know, really great. And of course he does have the belt at the present moment, but you know, you don't have to beat him just once. Sometimes you got to beat him twice, sometimes back to back. Have you given any thought of like,
I don't give a fuck. I'll fight him today, tomorrow. Fuck it. I don't give a shit, bro. Like I'm a dog. Like if I'm competitive as fuck and I don't back away from challenges. If they want to do a rematch, fuck it. I'll rematch them. I don't care. I don't know if you saw Glover Teixeira's fight.
I did.
Like that was a fucking war, right? Like you probably watched that fight and you're like, Jesus Christ. You know what he said after that? I want a rematch.
I know.
Like I'm like that, bro. Like competitive as shit. And I don't care what the fuck it takes. I'm a dog. I'll get in there and I'll compete.
You know, what's interesting about your story as I was reading up on it is you came from the University of Missouri wrestling. Boy, what an interesting place Missouri is, right? The university there, because you had you, Ben Askren, Tyron Woodley, Michael Chandler. Yeah. What is it about the Mizzou Tigers that obviously they have a great wrestling program independent of anything else, but there's a lot of like really good fighters. Now you're among that list that have come out of there.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's in the water in Columbia. I don't know. No, Brian Smith, he's a great head coach. He's a good guy. I think he instills good values on his wrestlers. And, you know, I guess he happened to choose a couple of crazy motherfuckers that decided to fight afterwards. You know, I think Mark Mark Ellis fought for a little bit too. He was
Yes,
a
he did.
national champion.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think it's kind of there hasn't been anybody after me, I don't think.
Nobody who's done what you've done anyway.
No, but I'm sure there's somebody will though. You know what I mean? We're kind of like Ben, T-Wood, and Chandler kind of set the stage, and I'm like, and I saw that, and I was like, fuck it, I can do that. And then I tried it and I loved it, and I'm like, okay, maybe they had the same situation I had. Like they were like good at wrestling, but then they started fighting, and they're like, whoa, fighting's even better. I don't think T-Wood really loves the fight. I think he's done interviews like that where like he does it because like, you know, the money and stuff, you're actually getting paid. But no, I'm sure there'll be a kid from Mizzou that, you know, will see this as an outlet for, you know, future endeavors, as opposed to like getting a real job, working for somebody, or, you know, becoming an entrepreneur, working for yourself, or, you know, what have you, becoming a coach, or trying to go to the Olympics. Yeah, because like one of my teammates that I used to train with, Jaden Cox. I mean, he's amazing
Oh
wrestler.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, don't go fight, bro. You're an amazing wrestler. But like, I wasn't the best wrestler. I was good. I wasn't the best. I wouldn't say, you know, I was going to try to make it in the Olympics or anything. And I don't think I could have made a real living off of it. So I chose fighting, and now I'm making a fucking great living off fighting. And, you know, I'm pretty good at it. I'm wanting to become the best in the world at it. So, yeah.
Well, you're a lot more than pretty good. You're very good.
Yeah,
but I guess
I think I'm a lot. I think I can get a lot better though. That's the thing. I think there's.
I mean,
a
if
lot
you're
more
undefeated fighting for a world title on national television, you're a lot more than pretty good. But the thing I guess I wanted to get at, yeah,
what'd you say?
I guess the thing I'm getting at is I've been covering MMA for quite some time, and I guess about 10 years ago or so, I mean, these are rough timelines, it felt like there was a fair amount of Division I guys. You were a Division I guy. Now there's always been D2, D3, NAIA guys coming and going or whatever. Yeah. And you know how it works. Somebody could be Division III and be a great fighter. Some could be Division I and not be a great fighter. It's not one-to-one. However, I have noticed that there are fewer Division I guys now than even like, say, 8, 9, 10 years ago. What is it that you think is happening that the Division I guys, they are in MMA? That's not what I'm saying. But there's not as many of them as there once was.
No, I get what you're saying. Who's the other, like, what, Logan Storley, right?
Yep.
Good D1 guy. Well, Ed Ruth,
and Bo Nickel just made his pro debut.
Yeah. Bo, I've trained with Bo. Bo's gonna be good. He's a good training partner too. Good kid. Who's the fuck house? Oh, we got Danny Sabatello. He's actually on this card. Yep. Cody Law, but like he went from D1 from Penn State, and then I think he transferred and went D2 or D3 or something like that. I don't know. Maybe it's honestly, I don't know. It's
it's a weird one, right?
I never really thought about that.
It's not like we have a shortage of people who wrestled. Like I think we will always at MMA have a lot
there's
of
always
people
going
who
to be
wrestled. But it's just a little strange that like the D1 guys slightly trickled off a little bit, with notable exceptions like Logan Storley and of course Bo Nickel more recently and whatnot. But in any event,
and me,
and of course, that's why I brought it up. And the undefeated Johnny Eblen. Johnny, I got to tell you, you caught my eye a few fights ago, and I was like, holy fuck, this guy is super good. And then I can't remember exactly which fight it was, and then it was the next one. Then I was like, okay, the Salter one's going to be the big test, and you fucking steamrolled him. I got to tell you, I have high hopes for you, man. Really do. I have noticed you have been a very, very talented guy, and I hope that I can't wish for you or for him. I have to just kind of like say what may the best man win.
You gotta be neutral in your stance.
I got to be neutral-ish as best I can be, but I will say I have high hopes for you, and I think you're going to do big things in the sport. I wish you nothing. You don't need it, but I wish you nothing but the best of luck on Friday, 9 p.m. in the East. Fighting Mousasi, Gegard Mousasi, for the Bellator middleweight title of the world, man. Big opportunity for you. You've earned it, and I appreciate your time today.
Thank you. I appreciate your time.